Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Team Talk, where Seth and myself talk about CCTV topics, interface, and hardware reviews. Come by every week where we do the quick stream, and let's have some fun. So the first topic that we're going to go over today is NDAA compliance. That's a pretty touchy subject here lately, within the last year anyway, at least a year or two. So basically, the NDAA compliance has a few restrictions on manufacturers and even chipsets that you can install and sell and bring into the United States even. So we actually have an awesome little blog post that Tyler made for us a while back, just to put some light on the NDAA compliance. Really the only other outlet that I'm aware of for this kind of news is IPVM, and they can have some paywalls going on. So we want to give you some free content to share and spread the wealth, basically. NDAA compliance, there are a handful of manufacturers that you can't really get anymore, or it's just hard to get. The big names are Dahua, Hikvision, Huawei, there's a couple of other ones, ZTE, Hytera, not too familiar with those two. As you guys might know, we carried OEM Hikvision for the longest time. That was our tried and true manufacturer. It was a little hard to let them go, but I feel like it was for the best. Seems like everyone else followed suit not too long after we dropped Hikvision, so it was definitely a good move on our part, I would say. And Uniview has been an awesome replacement, and RaySharp's been picking up some slack as well.
Oh yeah.
Chipsets. So HiSilicon chipset, that is a banned.
A no-go.
Yeah, you can't have anything, well, for federally funded or federal jobs, basically, installs is one of the biggest limitations for these chipsets and manufacturers anyway. What cameras are not banned? Really, a lot of manufacturers state that on their websites nowadays. We have our Uniview line, of course, and we're almost the entire line, I would say, if not the entire line, is NDAA compliant now. Our series, or OEM RaySharp, they state that a handful of their SKUs are NDAA compliant, which if you take them apart, you do see that they're not HiSilicon and they're not on any kind of banned list. So technically you can do these on federally funded jobs, but honestly, I would just stick with Uniview for sure.
And Uniview actually has like a great list of all their NDAA compliant products.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll link this later on, but Uniview on their website has actual list of all of their NDAA compliant products, and they actually keep it updated as well. So if they have any new products that they bring in, they update this list with it, which obviously you can see they've already got their newer G models added, and even some D models. I didn't even notice that. So they keep it updated quite well. And if you guys ever have any questions or concerns about if a certain product or model is NDAA compliant, you can always just hit us up or reach out to us, and we can definitely let you know.
Oh, yeah.
And even if we don't know, we can reach out to the manufacturer and ask. That's no problem.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Definitely. Never assume. So for the next topic, it's our hardware overview, and we're actually going to be talking about the dual lens PTZ. So this is an awesome little camera that we brought in here recently. So it's exactly how it's described. It's a dual lens PTZ. It has a fixed lens on the top portion. You can adjust that vertically. So it has a little knob on the side, and you can adjust it up and down by hand. After you do that though, it's set it and forget. You can't adjust it from the app or anything. So that'll be your main overview camera. Uniview calls it a pano or a wide angle, but really it's just a 2.8 millimeter lens. So you get 102 degree field of view with it. After that, the PTZ lens, it's 1080p, just like the fixed lens. You can control it from the NVR, from the web interface. But from the app, EasyView currently, if you add the dual lens PTZ to the app, you'll only gain access to the fixed lens camera currently. I was told that an update for the app and the camera together should be coming soon. No exact ETA, but once that comes through, you'll get the full functionality of this camera on the EasyView app. So the arm on a typical mini PTZ from Uniview is just this L-shaped bracket. So you can't do anything outside of that. You get the L-shaped bracket, and that's what you get. So it's pretty difficult mounting these things on a horizontal plane without Uniview actually made an L-shaped bracket to accommodate for their L-shaped bracket. So they made it very easy on themselves. But this dual lens PTZ, You can actually take the arm apart. It has two little set screws, and you can twist it to a 90-degree or a vertical. So it's a little bit more flexible when it comes to mounting. Some other awesome hardware features on it. It has two-way audio. It can also do deterrent functionality, so it can strobe at you and do pre-assigned voice overlays. You can actually even upload your own custom audio files to the camera from the EasyView app. It's actually quite simple.
You can even do like text to speech, which is awesome. Text to speech.
It's definitely nice, especially if the preset audible warnings aren't up to your standard anyway. It also supports what's called master-slave linkage. So the fixed lens camera does all of the analytics, and basically it talks to the PTZ on what to do. So for an example, you can set up a line crossing event with the fixed lens camera on the PTZ, and you can set it to where if something triggers that line cross, that the PTZ can actually snap over and auto track for so long on the object that tripped that cross line detection. Awesome. Yeah, well, that's the dual lens PTZ, guys. If you have any questions at all about it, just give us a shout, shoot us an email.
Next, we got an awesome bit of software for you guys. If you haven't seen it yet, it's for our RaySharp lineup. It's called CamViewer Pro. Similar to the CamViewer app in the past, like I said, it's going to work with our R-Series lineup. With cameras, NVRs, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you a few cool things you can do with it. Super easy once you're in the software to add a device. You just go to Device Management, hit this little plus button, and there's two ways you can add it. You can add it locally, just with an IP address on the local network. No big deal. Just type in that IP address, give it a name, put in a username and password, and call it a day. There's also the option, and RaySharp uses a cloud function as well, and they have a P2P ID. So I'll show you guys how easy it is to add something here. So we'll just name it NVR for short here today. You'll input your P2P ID. You can find this in the NVR itself. You'll just log into the web interface. Once you're in the web interface, you're going to go to Remote Setting. Scroll down here on the left into Information. And then down here at the bottom, can't quite see it, but you are going to have a P2P ID. Anyways, once you have your P2P ID, you'll just come back into here. But super easy. Once you got your P2P ID in there, you're going to use port 80 for HTTP and just input your username and password and hit add. Once you do that, the NVR is going to come on with a green indicator status button here. Like I said, that's just how you know it's online in the app. From there, there's lots of great things you can do with this. One, not only is this far superior to CamViewer in the aspect that you can add a bunch of NVRs, so you as an installer can kind of manage all of your clients' devices from any remote location. I mean, you have full access to configuration like you would from the web interface through here.
Super nice.
Of course, you have your live view, your playback, the same stuff you'd expect from any VMS software. Nothing's kind of changed there, similar to CamViewer in terms of how it functions, how you get things going. All that's going to function pretty much the same, just you have so many features now that just really provide you that ability to control and, take care of this equipment. If you ever have a client that's just looking for a way to have a kind of backup storage scenario, say they do have a computer sitting on the network that they just want to record to, you don't have to have a NAS or anything. You can actually come into here. You can specify, where you want it to save files to, but there's actually a built-in local recording in the CamViewer Pro app. It's awesome. So you select your hard drive, you set up a record schedule for when you want cameras to record your computer, and you just hit start record down here at the bottom, and you've got it recording to a local computer without any, extra setup or any kind of extra effort, really.
Shane Taylor just asked, does the new app eat up a lot of resources?
So as you can see up in the top here, it's got a CPU indicator. Obviously, it's nothing crazy. I mean, obviously, it's dependent on your computer. Mm-hmm. If you have a worse processor, if you don't have as much RAM, obviously it's going to eat up some resources. But I haven't seen it do anything crazy in terms of. Mm-hmm. I mean, on my work computer, I've got probably 7 or 8 different NVRs on there, and it functions just fine.
I've added several different recorders to it myself, and I haven't seen it run into any resource limitations anyway.
Last thing we kind of want to work with you guys is our tips and tricks section, and today we're going to be covering updating UniView devices via the cloud. It's a great, feature that UniView provides, really nice because you never have to worry about, searching out firmware, manually updating it. A few different ways. One way I'm going to show you in person today here is going to be updating it through like the web interface of an NVR. So of course you'll type in your IP address, get to the web interface of the NVR and log in. You'll go to Setup, Maintenance, and Cloud Upgrade is what you're looking for on the top there. Mm-hmm. Two different things you can upgrade from the NVR. You can obviously update the NVR. You just have NVR selected, hit check for update. If there is an update, it's going to pop up with a little box. It's just going to say, hey, here's the version you're on. Mm-hmm. Here's the latest version. Do you want to upgrade? You can click yes and upgrade it from there. Say you want to update your cameras, though. You just select under device type. You select IPC. You then select whatever cameras. You can select them all at the same time to check for updates. No worries there. Once you select IPC and select your cameras, you'll hit check for update. It's going to scan those cameras for the latest firmware and tell you under latest version whether it is the latest version like ours are, or if there is an update. And from there, it's super easy. You just hit the cloud upgrade option, or you hit batch upgrade. Yep. A couple other ways that you can cloud update devices. Of course, you have from Easy Tools. Nothing crazy. You're just going to open up the Easy Tools program. Click on Upgrade, select Online Upgrade, because again, we're doing cloud updates, not local updates. And then you're just going to check mark the devices that you want to upgrade, and then hit check for upgrade. And it's going to then either, like I said, kind of like it did in the web interface, it's going to search for upgrades, going to tell you whether there is a newer update or not, and allow you to update it from there. The only other way, really, outside of that, from outside of like an attached monitor, is going to be you can actually update from the EasyView app. So what you'll do is you'll open up your EasyView app. You're going to hit the three lines in the top left, go to Devices, and you can tell if a NVR or a camera needs an update because it's going to have this little red dot next to the name of the device. That's going to tell you that you have a device that needs to update. From there, you click on the three dots next to the name of the device on the right side, and there's going to be an option to P2P/cloud upgrade it. And then from there on, you just hit start upgrade. And then, of course, it just takes its normal 5 to 10 minute process. It's going to upgrade. It's going to download that file, upload it to the camera, and then upgrade the camera or NVR.
Yeah, and one thing to note when it comes to these cloud updates is to really make sure that the network that these things are on is stable. If you push a cloud update and it drops offline during the update, you could risk bricking the unit that you're trying to update. So definitely be aware of that.
Thanks for watching Tech Team Talk. We come by every week. Check out the links below. All of our social media is listed. Feel free to give us a shout. You shoot us an email. Check out our chats on our websites. We're happy to answer your questions anytime we're open. We'll catch you next time.